Hey there, listeners. Welcome to Socially Inclined, where we believe marketing should be simple, effective, and most importantly, affordable. In this episode, we'll be sharing expert tips and strategies to help you increase your visibility, engage more of your audience, and reach more clients than ever before. So if you're ready to take your online presence to the next level, keep listening because you're about to get socially inclined. Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. My name's Jess from Socially Inclined. And today's topic is such a hard-hitting one. Let's face it, we have all made posts on social media that were severely disappointing. You know that feeling where you've spent time, you've spent energy, maybe you sacrificed time doing something else to try and create this amazing post. You wrote a caption to go with it, and then you posted it, and it got 2 likes, if that. It was just crickets. I can't even fully explain to you how disappointing that feels. But I do want to encourage you by saying, yes, that has happened to us. That has happened to me. It happens. It's part of the entrepreneur on social media journey. So right off the bat, I want to encourage you that no matter how many posts you have written that have gone flat, no matter how long you have been in no engagement land, in the world of feeling invisible on social media, there are strategies and things that can help turn the tide. This is all about moving the needle. You won't find things on Socially Inclined, or you won't hear podcasts, you won't find products from us that talk about how to go viral and things like that, because we've been doing this for 20 years and we know that viral, more often than not, is a case of luck and timing, and that is not what we're about teaching here. We're not teaching our small business owners how to go viral, because that's not something that can be taught. What we're teaching you are strategies that are actionable, that are doable for business owners, and that are going to move things in the right direction little by little by little until you have such a snowball that things are rolling more effortlessly for you. So, wow, what an introduction. That's not really how I intended to introduce this particular episode. But this one is all about how to write social media posts that people are going to respond to. Things that you can do in each one, little things that you want to add, and strategies, tips that are going to help one more person like, comment, or share, or maybe 10 more people, so that post gets just a little further, so that your next post can get even further. That's what the MVP strategy, which we're famous for, is all about, where the MVP in a single day really can help open up the algorithms for you, because you post that M post in the morning, the V post midday, and then your promo or presence post in the evening. That's what this is about. I think I'm talking about 9 strategies today that are going to help. It's going to spur people to take action, spur people to respond and engage with your content. Content writing is not easy. Content writing is not quick. It is very time consuming. And if you're having someone else do it for you, whether it's a VA or a marketing agency, it can also be very expensive if you're not using something like Socially Sweet. We've worked very hard to make that very accessible at $99 a month, but we had to make it a tool. We thought about trying to make it a posting service where we actually help you from a social media manager's perspective, but the tool and that service would have to be so expensive that it would eliminate a lot of small businesses from that budget. So we didn't want to do that. So Socially Sweet is a tool, and we teach you how to use it. That's what you want to have when it comes to your social media marketing. So 9 9 strategies, 9 tips to help get more people to respond to the content that you write. Your social media strategy should involve building your email list or sending social media viewers or followers to your website so that you can capture them outside of social media. This is something, what I'm about to say is pretty profound because a lot of people, a lot of small business owners fail to think about this aspect of social media. The reality is social media platforms could not exist tomorrow. Facebook or Instagram, they could shut down for whatever reason. People don't like to think about that, but it's a total possibility. They could decide that they want to shut down for whatever kind of clout reasons, or something could happen, or government, or things like that. So we're always kind of the belief in trying to prepare our small business owners. You want to pull people off of social media and onto your email list. So in the spirit of that, I am getting a little off topic. I'm feeling very chatty today. In the spirit of that, that should be the underlying purpose of your social media strategy. Not to get 1 million views. Yes, that would be great in terms of exposure, but ultimately the only thing that matters is who you're pulling off of social media into a more quiet place, like maybe a private Facebook group or their email list, so that you can really warm them up as a customer. All right, that was a heck of an introduction, but let's talk about the strategies that you can, and the things you need to think about as you're creating posts or as you're sourcing posts. Of course, we have tons of content bundles across a variety of niches in our Etsy store and on sociallyinclined.com. So you need to be thinking about these 9 things, as you're creating and sourcing this content. So first and foremost, our favorite, often overlooked, is the very basics of marketing, but understand your customer. Think about who they are and what problem are you trying to solve. You have to know your target audience so that you can recognize what type of post will get more traction with them. And maybe you don't know what kind of post will get more traction right now. That's where trial and error comes in. That's where you've got to start posting content and see, well, maybe you thought that they wanted to see tutorials, but really what they wanted to see was case studies and positive reviews and things like that. So you will learn as you become consistent with social media to recognize what types of posts get more traction. Some audience members may be insulted by comedy. Others may think it is the bee's knees. Maybe you like scary, spooky Halloween posts, but your ideal client is more into the fall vibe and less into, ghosts and devils and spiders and things like that. So make sure you know who your customer is and what they want. Give some thought to that customer avatar. Second thing, give a quick glimpse at your competition. It's always a good idea to check out what others are doing, not so you can copy, but so you can understand what's working and what's not. You might could spend 10 minutes on a competitor's profile and immediately get some ideas of what you're not going to do and get some inspiration for what you're going to do. So observe your competition and see if they're getting a result from their action. And if not, think about how you could do it better or differently. Third, know the goal of the post. So yes, in my long intro for this podcast, I talked about the overarching goal and strategy should be to bring people to your email list, or to send them to your blog so that they then can be on your email list so that they can ultimately become customers. But inside of that, each post needs a goal as well. Think about this post. Think about that next post. Think about the next 7 days of posts. What do you need to do? Do you need to sell more your social plan subscriptions? Or do you need to get more people exposed to your low ticket lead magnet, or to something else? Do you want them to click through and read a blog? Do you want to get more eyeballs on a blog? Are you monetizing through AdSense, in which case you don't care if they sign up or not? You just want them to get over to your blog so that they can see some ads. Figure out what it is that you want, even if it's just a like, follow, or share. Each post needs to have a goal, and as soon as you get clear on that, you'll be able to do a better job at creating content that somebody is going to take action on. Number 4, make sure that you use a relevant image. There's a reason that these real colorful, yes, there's a lot of text posts on Facebook now. You see those color rectangles with text inside. There's a reason Facebook has gone from a more Twitter style, which was, you just type it into the status bar and you post that, to images, and even text posts are on images. And that's because people respond better to images. The human brain processes graphics and imagery so much more faster. I think it's like 10 or 100 times. I'm not sure the exact number, but it's huge. So a nice image that's watermarked and it has like a relevant quote, or something that points back to your business. Of course, all of our content in your social plan is editable, brandable, and watermark. But when you're creating your own, maybe over on Canva, make sure that you put a logo and that you have a place for people to take action in that graphic. But adding a relative image or a relevant image will get more views, and it will get more people taking action. Of course, video, if you're not doing an image, then make sure you're doing video, which brings me to number 5. Same exact thing goes for adding a relevant video. Pick one or the other and make sure that it speaks to your ideal client. If your ideal client, I can only think of the example of maybe you are a church, or you have a religious kind of blog or following. Maybe you're homeschooling and it's got a religious part of it is for one of your content buckets is your faith and family and mom. Your content, you would be amiss to have content around Halloween that is that has ghosts and devils and things like that, because your ideal client probably doesn't respond to that as well as the feeling of falling leaves, the rebirth and change and things like that. That's what I am alluding to. That's what I'm talking about whenever I say a relevant image, relevant graphics, relevant videos. Doesn't have to be super overproduced. A lot of times when we start talking about video content to a small business owner, they clam up and freak out oh, I cannot dance on Reels. I cannot do this. You can create some beautiful Reels with some great stock photos and nice graphics right in Canva in just a few seconds. Of course, we do have, it's 100 short video quote motivational quotes. You can find those by going to sociallyinclined.com, and in the search bar you're looking for video. You can type video and you'll see it. But you want to make sure that these things are relevant, because if they're not relevant, then your ideal client is scrolling past them, and every time your ideal client scrolls past something without slowing down to look at it, tapping it, liking it, sharing, or commenting, it signals the algorithm that that type of person doesn't like your content, which is a huge problem when that person is actually your ideal client. It means you're missing even more people like that person. So make sure you keep it relevant, and make sure that it's eye-catching, scroll-stopping, as we like to say. Next, we talked about the graphic, the visual. We've got to talk about the blurb, the text that gets attention. When you share a meme or a blog post or other type of post on social media, make sure that you write a little blurb about it. Make sure that you say something compelling. And always include some kind of call to action. Whether it's just like, hey, let me know what you thought about this below, or do you agree below? Or if it's something more direct, like sign up for my newsletter on my website. Make sure you include that call to action. But the post needs to be, the blurb in the post, I guess is what we're calling it, the little text part that you're going to type in, that's got to be compelling too. And my favorite way to do that, which oftentimes is met with an aha from a business owner, is to tell them to speak to one person. Don't say, hey, you guys, let me know what you think about this. Always use first person language as if you're talking to one person. That always gets a better response in terms of engagement. Next, link to the rest of the story. Don't just post an update or your blog or maybe a beautiful graphic that shows, or a video walkthrough that outlines a product or a service without information of where to get it, where to sign up. This is an extension of the CTA I was talking about just a minute ago. Make sure that every post has somewhere else to go. Make sure they know that there's something else to do to get more information, to get more involved with your content. And that is true with every post, save like holiday posts. Obviously, if it's Thanksgiving and you're just posting a post about Happy Thanksgiving, you don't want to use that as a selling opportunity. Next, best way to get engagement is to ask for the engagement you want. Don't forget to ask your audience to share your posts. You can reach so many more people by saying, share this with someone who needs to see it, or tag your favorite person below. Be careful about that, but tag the mom that needs these 7 tips to overcome the overwhelm below. But you want to make sure that your audience can share the things that you're putting out there, and it can be linked back to you. And one of the best way to do that is to make sure that your graphics are watermarked, they have your branding on them, so that all of the goodness comes back to your business. Next, and finally, respond to comments. Do not ignore interaction. You worked really hard to get likes, comments, and shares. So make sure that you always respond and always add a new comment to the discussion. If you can ask a question in response, that's great, because that'll 9 times out of 10 get another comment on there, which just opens it up for more people to see. But answer questions, ask questions, be kind, and even if someone is rude, do not respond rudely. If you have to, delete the rude comment and just bless and release. Just let it go. But do your best to facilitate that engagement as well. So these 9 things can go such a long way in compelling people to take action. Make sure you know who you're creating content for. Take a glimpse at what your competition is doing so that you can see what's working and what's not working. Make sure that you know the goal for the post so that you know where you're going. Add a relevant image or a relevant video. Write a blurb that gets attention, that is compelling and commanding. Make sure that you link to the rest of the story, or add a CTA that tells them where to get more involved, whether it's to sign up or to view something on your website. Ask for the engagement you want. Ask for that share. Ask for the likes. Ask for a comment by asking a question. And then finally, respond to the comments that you do get. So writing social media posts that get discussion like this will inspire people to share and interact. This is really a nuanced thing. It's kind of an art. So make sure you're patient with yourself. Make sure you're prepared to be flexible and try some different things. You will need to try some different tactics to see what works with your particular audience and what maybe falls a little flat. Again, there's nothing wrong with any of that. It's just all part of the process. And so many people give up before they try again. So make sure that you give yourself that grace to try a few different tactics and see what's more successful than others. Be sure to always have a call to action in the post. I cannot stress that enough. Even if it's not a salesy call to action, just a, hey, do you agree? Let me know below kind of call to action, so that you can really massage as much engagement out of a post as possible. Remember, your goal is to get them on your email list so you can take them off that busy social media world and you can bring them into a more controlled environment where you can teach them about your business. They can learn to know, like, and trust you on an ongoing basis, and you can really start building relationships there that are going to cultivate lifelong loving customers. So again, I'm Jess from Socially Inclined. I hope you loved these 9 strategies for writing social media posts that get people to take action. If you did, please share it far and wide. If you didn't love it, send me a message at podcast@sociallyinclined.com and tell me what you'd like to hear instead. Also, you can send me feedback there. I'm always looking forward to and loving my listener mail, so thank you so much for that. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. And until then, make sure you go implement some of these strategies in your future post writing so that you can reach more people and you can get more engagement than ever before.